Coasters and Places here, and today's video I am going to be talking about my opinion of the 10 best roller coasters in the state of California. California has a lot of roller coasters. Some are absolutely terrific, some not so great, but I went through and picked out what my personal 10 favorites are in California from various different parks. And please note that your opinion may be different than mine. That's completely okay, because this is just an opinion-based video. It's just how I personally enjoy the roller coasters that I have ranked. And before I get started on the video, I would love it if you could like and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And definitely give this video a like for sure. And just stay tuned for more roller coaster related content. I'm going to try to put out new videos regularly. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on the video. My number 10 favorite coaster in California is Incredicoaster at Disney's California Adventure Resort, part of Disneyland. So Incredicoaster is 6,070 feet long, so this thing is very, very long. First of all, I love a long ride. Feels like you're getting your time worth, especially if you're waiting in a long line. It does only have one inversion. It does go 55 miles an hour, and it does reach 108 feet tall. However, that one inversion is a loop, and it's pretty decently intense. It has great views at the top, like you can just see the park, especially if they're doing one of their shows. It's really great up there. In the back, you get absolutely whipped over that the camelbacks, and you get whipped through that loop, which makes the loop even better. So you get good air time on the bigger hills. I love the tunnels. Like, the tunnels are just fun, add to the ride. And the launch is more intense than you would think, because it may not have the best stats for a launch, but it actually is pretty intense when you're actually on it. It feels that way. However, Incredicoaster just isn't as intense as some other coasters on this list. So that's why I only have it at number 10, but it's still a good ride. Number 9 is Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, Six Flags Magic Mountain. This is an RMC Raptor. It's not one of the prototypes, though, of the Raptor models. So this one's bigger and longer. So if you are sitting in the back row, I mean, it will absolutely whip you. And this thing is intense all the way through. And it's just relentless. Like, it just has really great pacing, just relentless, doesn't let up. And every airtime hill gives solid ejector. There are several moments on this coaster that are pulling positive G's, especially the low to the ground turnaround. Great positive G moment. Again, a great first drop. It's just absolutely relentless. I would say a couple spots I feel like the pacing dies a little bit, but overall, absolutely fantastic ride. Number 8 is RailBlazer at California's Great America. So RailBlazer is shorter and it has less length than Wonder Woman Flight of Courage. It is more of an original Raptor clone, but I like it better, actually. I think it's completely nuts, even crazier and whippier than Wonder Woman, because it have shorter trains, and I mean, it hauls. It has a very intense ejector. The pre-drop and the first drop, they're amazing. They provide an insane amount of whip and ejector. You get tossed through that dive loop it has, and the pacing is top-notch. I think the pacing is superior to Wonder Woman. That doesn't mean Wonder Woman isn't a great ride, because it is. And this is smooth. My only complaint about RailBlazer is it's just pretty short, unfortunately. It's still a great ride. Number 7, I have Xcelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. So the thing that makes this coaster is the launch. The launch is absolutely unbelievable. It's very strong, intense, and well, fun. And that top hat is powerful with lots of airtime and great G-force. I mean, it has some crazy laterals after the top hat. It's 203 foot tall and it's 82 miles an hour, and you really feel that speed and that intensity. It's just a little too short though, but that launch really is what makes the ride, and even though it's a little short, that launch is just worth it. Number 6 is the Joker, located at Discovery Kingdom. It's RMC hybrid iBox conversion. It reaches 102 feet tall, 53 miles an hour, about 3,200 feet long, and it does have 3 inversions. Some people call this the worst RMC. I'd have to disagree with that. I don't think it is. I think it's very good. Maybe the weaker half of RMCs, but still very good. It's an RMC after all. It has an overall good layout with, I think, pretty good pacing. The inversions is where this coaster really shines, and it has some great hang time moments with some of those inversions. The 0G airtime moments and twists are really good, and does have a good amount of airtime, contrary to what some people say. And it's smooth, and I personally think that the first drop is absolutely insane when you're riding it in the back row. Again, maybe a little bit short, maybe a little lacking on the airtime versus some RMCs, but the inversions are really great, and it's still overall pretty well-rounded coaster. At my number 5 spot, I've picked GhostRider at California's Great America. This is a good GCI coaster that has stats of 108 feet tall, reaches 54 miles an hour. It's about 3,200 feet long. So the first drop is absolutely amazing on this. One of GCI's best first drops. This coaster has really aggressive banking, and all over it has really great airtime. And you really feel the speed, and it's very intense. And with that aggressive banking, it's full of the classic GCI twist that you love, or I love at least, but also full of some good GCI airtime. It's not as higher on this list because it is getting a bit of a rattle, a little bit of a roughness. It's not unbearable or anything, but it's definitely there, which I think does detract from the ride a little bit. But it still has a crazy layout. It's crazy fun. It's definitely a must-ride coaster. At number 4, I am going to put Tatsu, which is a B&M flying coaster. It is my favorite B&M flying coaster that I have personally rode. I really love it. It is 171 feet tall. It's about 3,600 feet long. It goes 62 miles an hour and has 4 inversions. I like B&M flyers. I like the sensation of flying. I know they may not be for everyone though, but most people know Tatsu's highlight is that incredible pretzel loop. Like, holy crap. It has a ton of positive G's on that pretzel loop. Just one of the most intense moments on any coaster out there in my opinion. Besides that pretzel loop, it just has some inline twists that are great as well. It has the great terrain and settings on the side of a mountain. It's just so smooth. I think the layout in general is just very unique. Has a great length to it and just a great pacing. Definitely the best, as I said, flying coaster from B&M that I've rode so far. And just a great addition, and you really soar. You feel so high off the ground with this coaster. It's just a lot of fun, and again, that pretzel loop, holy crap, it's worth riding just for that. At number 3, I have GhostRider at Knott's Berry Farm. This is a CCI, but it's had extensive retracking done by GCI to make it smoother and that much better, and it is smooth. So that retracking did a great job. It has really impressive stats. It's 118 feet tall, it's over 4,500 feet long, and it reaches 56 miles an hour. So, zoom! And the pacing on this is probably one of the best paced wooden coasters that I know of. At least in my opinion. The pacing is very well paced, and it just has lots of airtime, and the Sean Ladders that CCI is good for. And it has excellent flowjector in particular on the mid-course brake run drop after that. And the final helix is absolutely crazy. And surprisingly, even in a park like Knott's Berry Farm, you know, middle of very populated area, this actually gives a really good night ride, I think, in my opinion. And again, just great pacing, great layout, smooth. It just has everything that you'd want in a coaster. It's a very well-rounded coaster. This may be controversial, but number 2 for me is Twisted Colossus, RMC iBox conversion of the old Colossus coaster. So I know this can be a lot of people's top 10 overall, and this of coasters just in general, in the world, US. And this is a lot of people's favorite in California. There is one I do like better than this, but this is an absolutely incredible ride. You're definitely not wrong, and to even put this at number 1. It is 121 feet tall. It is almost 5,000 feet long. It reaches 57 miles an hour. It does have 2 inversions, so this coaster is incredibly smooth. When you actually duel, this is when the coaster shines the best, I think. The dueling aspect puts this top level RMC. Now, even without the duel, still an incredible ride, but I probably got to knock it down a little bit just because it doesn't duel that often. But if it dueled every time, it could be number 1, honestly. It has a very long ride. I love long rides, and it's jam-packed with solid ejector airtime. And I mean, a lot of this airtime, you're launching straight out of your seat, like, oh my gosh, you know, where am I going? I'm going to fly up and hit the clouds. But no, it's incredible airtime on this thing. And the inversions are really fun as well. It has an incredible first drop, and you get to do it twice because it has a Mobius loop layout. And it has a great 0G stall. I love these 0G stalls on RMCs. They're an incredible element. So with the Mobius loop layout, basically you get to kind of do it twice and come back and do the green side after the blue side. It kind of does kill the pacing when you do have to go up the lift hill again, but then again, it just gives you a break from the relentlessness that is Twisted Colossus. So I think it's a good break though overall. But yeah, my number 2 spot, Twisted Colossus. My number 1 pick, if you didn't guess, is X2 at Magic Mountain. So X2 reaches a height of 174 feet tall, 76 miles an hour, and it's 3,609 feet long, has 6 inversions. So this ride is pure madness. Like, oh my goodness, the first drop is absolutely insane when you're facing down 200 feet while flipping. Like, that is just one of the best moments on any roller coaster out there, and it's so incredibly intense. Like, the seats rotate 360 degrees. I love that. That's great. Being the first 4D coaster, the back row, you get some crazy whip over that first drop. Like, it's nuts as to the insane intensity. You get airtime where you would not expect there to be airtime, and you get positive G's where you wouldn't expect there to be positive G's. Like, what? How is this even happening? And it is a bit rough, especially towards the end, but I don't find it unbearably rough. I still enjoy it enough to ride it, and this is just a crazy intense coaster that every time I get off, I'm left going, what just happened? And I love it. Like, it just, every time, it's like, oh my goodness. And a coaster that can do that, in my opinion, you know, is one that deserves the number 1 spot. So again, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give my video a like and subscribe to me. And check out my other roller coaster related content and travel content. And again, thanks so much.